Alrighty, so you may have noticed I was not on YouTube for the last week. It is because I got a strike against my YouTube channel because of the video I made last Saturday about Israel. I must have said some pretty mean things. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was said. It has been spoken. I have spoken. I definitely don't want to get, like, if I get striked again, I'll be out for like 3 months. So, definitely trying to avoid that. So, we're going to try to tone it down on the YouTube because I do not want to get banned on YouTube. YouTube's the only thing that, like, this is the first strike I've ever gotten in my whole life. How long have you guys been watching me, and how many crazy things have I said? And last Saturday is the first time I've ever gotten a strike for saying something harmful, I guess. YouTube has let me run, and for some reason they shut it down last week. So that was shocking to me, but I don't want it to happen again. So I'm gonna try to avoid it. But I most certainly will not be avoiding the message. The message is important. And I'm the only one in America that can actually have the resume to stand up against Zionism. Every other motherfucker, every other idiot is trying to free Palestine, end the genocide, all this stuff. They all doing it for ulterior motives. I'm the only one out here trying to set the world free. And it's like, I want to free Palestine and all that good stuff, but so fighting for their own freedom or justice, fighting for their own freedom or justice. Instead, they are fearful. It feels like America is just scared of Islam and scared of what a lot of their radical ideology suggests that they want in the long run. And so naturally, it is their instinct to side on the side of the other part of the fight. But unfortunately, that side is your slave master. And you guys have all been pretending you're willing to die to close this border. You're willing to die to stop your grandkids from inheriting a $250 fucking debt and insane inflation and garbage education where fucking science and principles and laws and fucking history don't matter anymore. And now it's all just about fucking feelings and bullshit and equality and garbage. And so it baffles me how you can be against all those things and act like it's worth dying for and act like your country is worth saving. And then the opportunity presents itself to save. And all we have to do is unite America against Israel and Islam. And when we do this, it sets us free. Because at the end of the day, we're all about to find out that Israel is in control of our politicians, is in control of our big business, is in control of our news media, is in control of our education system, is in control of our churches. Christian or not, the Jews are in charge. All the Christians act like Jews. Like there's Christians out there that live a humble life and all these good things and try to do their best. But anyone that's going to church every Sunday, you are listening to people and living a lifestyle in which your practice is designed to mirror the Jews. The exact opposite of what the New Testament tells us to do. And that's pretty disappointing. But I just hope Americans will wake up and realize that both these factions are their enemies and that we can't side with either side and that we need to let them handle their own shit and that we'll handle ours. And the second that becomes the common perspective from both the right and the left, like we no longer have to give Israel $100 billion every fucking year. We no longer have to, like, anyone that's using Israeli government influence to fuck with our country, they're going to be shut out. They're going to have their doors closed. There's not going to be any more opportunity for them to try to perverse our country. And so, I did a space call yesterday on Twitter, and it's really it was like the idea of, look, Mullen's coming, the lawsuit's happening. I still think it's going to be November 13th. From what we can see so far in the lawsuit, it looks like the other side did answer, but before they answered, they filed 5 pre-motions, which basically goes to the judge, and the judge gets to review this before they enter anything into the record. And I would guess that the motions was to suppress the record from the public. And basically, after they file their answer, we're not allowed to read it, even though when we filed the complaint on Mullen, we got it the next day. And so it feels like we're going to be filing, our lawyers already announced that they had more evidence than what they put in the complaint, and that they just wanted to get a response from the other side first. And now they've issued a request to file a revised complaint up until November 31st. I think it'll be filed much sooner than that, because they already knew what they were going to file. They already know what they're going to say. They just wanted to give enough to get the ball rolling, and then get an answer, and then fucking blow that answer up with with everything they got. And so November 13th still feeling hella strong, but the point of the space call was sure, it's going to be great when we win with the lawsuit and the whole world realizes that we dominated and we were always right and they've been cheating us the whole time and all this good stuff. But it's disappointing to me that we as a Mullen society was not able to wake up the greater society. There was 10 million people that came in to look at GameStop after it went to 483, and at least half of them bought the dip on GameStop when it dropped back to 40 before it ended up running back to 300. It just seems like all those people never came back to the market because no one ever gave them a good enough reason to. And I was the closest thing to getting as many people to come back, but we didn't hit the fucking bars that we hit in GME and AMC, and that's fucking pathetic in my mind. And so the point of the space call was, how do we get the people to wake up and start doing hundreds of millions of dollars of cash into Mullen every single day until the lawsuit either wins and there's just a billion fake shares, or the fucking the veil gets broken before the lawsuit because there's just so many people hyped about it that it explodes into infinity because they just say we can't fight this kind of army. And that's how it is. If the army's big enough, they'll just fucking walk away. And so what I know is that Mullen is the greatest story of all time, and I can tell this story unlike anybody's ever told it. And when people hear that story combined with my story, combined with AMC, combined with GameStop, combined with Israel, combined with just everything that's gone down in society for the last at least 10 to 20 years, they will wake up really fucking quick as to where our grievances are, who's causing our grievances, and how we can rectify our grievances in the most fucking awesome way. And so the idea would be is if we could somehow find a YouTube channel that kind of hits the dark web followers, so kind of like a Nick Fuentes, Anomaly, fucking Carolyn Borsenko. These are the only ones that I think that would even be potentially interested in hearing this type of story. But the idea is if we got on one of those platforms that have 50 to 100,000 people that don't know anything about stocks, that aren't interested in stocks, and we tell them about the story about fighting for freedom and flipping the fucking tables on this planet through the stock market, and it ain't about the fucking money, it ain't about the profit, it's about exposing the evil, and then exposing like all the things they've done to cheat us and how powerful a position we're in right now today with the Mullen lawsuit, like I'm telling you, it's a message that would inspire new minds. But the problem is that we're not hitting new minds. None of the Mullen influencers are hitting new people because nobody's looking for the new stock squeeze. Like, it's just not on people's radars. But it would be if they knew what was happening. And because all the Mullen influencers don't talk about it, instead they talk about garbage short interest, garbage data, garbage updates, garbage fucking... It's all bullshit that they all love to talk about. But if they were pumping this as a war, as the battle of freedom that was good versus evil, all of that, and just non-stop exposing just how illegal their actions have been against us, and how, like, it is the greatest crime and tragedy in freaking modern American history. It's crazy, people. It's crazy that the world don't know yet. And y'all calling me crazy, but I just write. They always call the guy who's right crazy because always the world's trying to convince you of something that ain't true. Alright, guys. I'll catch you later. I just wanted to see if my YouTube was still blocked. But nope, it looks like I'm back. As far as Mullen goes, I do think that it feels like we're probably going to go green this next week. Maybe hit 35, 40 cents. And then, I mean, maybe even less than that. It might be 30 to 35 cents. And then towards the end of the week, probably drop back down to where we are now. And then the week after, probably drop to a little bit new lows. Maybe somewhere between, I feel like 23 cents is the low, but if it jumps way below 23, or 23 cents, if it drops to 22, it'll probably hit 17. Maybe 15 to 17 could be the bottom. But right now, if it goes green next week, I'll assume 23 cents is going to be the bottom. If you're looking for a YOLO on Mullen, there's a January 2024 option expiration. As soon as the $5 strike hits 1 penny a contract, so you can buy one for $1.50 a contract, which is 100 shares. That is gonna be the best play. Like, I mean, it's possible, like, after that one hits $1, it takes another week to squeeze, and maybe 1 or 2 other strikes you could find out there that also hit $1, and those would have been the best. But at that point, you are literally pinching pennies. And if you're looking for a YOLO, just wait until you see the January 2024 expiration, $5 strike, hit $1 per contract, and buy as many as you can. That's the play, I promise. I'm personally not investing anything into Mullen. Like, if I don't get something better than money after all this, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Anything else? Yeah, November 13th today, so what I'm kind of expecting is that kind of price action I just told you over the next week or two, and then for about 2 weeks, I expect some extreme volatility, lots of ups, lots of downs, and then Monday the 13th, Mullen Day. Good luck, people. I'll be back sometime.